Hello everyone. Sorry it's been a while since you've heard from me. It's been very busy with work. Today I'm going to talk about a story that happened in Canterbury where I was from. It's not about me, it's about someone else. It's a very upsetting story, and it's something that I was always very conscious of when I was on the streets, and it I used this story for a lot of the decisions I made in regard to keeping myself safe. Like I say, this is a very sad story, so I'll warn you now. Okay, it's not pleasant, it really isn't, but it's something that hasn't really gone reported, and it should be. Okay, there's a person involved that committed this crime, whose name I will not mention. In my opinion, this guy should be erased from history. So I will refer to him as POS. I'll leave that to you to figure out what that means, okay? Right, here we go. So it was the 25th of April in 2017. There was two homeless men. They were behind a retail park in Canterbury looking for somewhere to pitch up a camp. They came across a tent. So they called out, is anyone there? No response. So they looked inside the tent and they found a badly decomposed body. So they called the police. The police came, had a bit of a look round, and they treated this as unexplained, not suspicious. The next day, council came, cleared the scene away, like nothing had ever happened. In the eyes of the council and the police, this was just another homeless person on the fringes of society that had just drunk themselves to death or taken an overdose. Much is what they always suspect. So it was reported in the media, and a lady came forward. She phoned the police, and she said 9 months prior she was at the same location with her ex, POS, and they'd been drinking, and she thinks he may have had something to do with what had happened. She believes that he'd shot him. Phillip Fox was the victim. He was 59, he was a father, he was a former soldier, homeless. I didn't know Philip, but from what I've heard, he had his problems, kept himself to himself, didn't cause anyone no grief, just wanted, to be on his own. So she's contacted the police. So the police have looked into it, and they've performed a CT scan on the corpse, and it's revealed that he's died from a point-blank shotgun blast to the abdomen. They found 63 pellets in his body. She went on to explain that she'd been out drinking with her ex. They'd been walking through the woods. He had a drawstring bag over his shoulder. Inside that drawstring bag was a sawn-off shotgun. He sat down and he got it out of the bag and was looking at it. And unfortunately, Phillip Fox chose that point in which to walk past. So being a nice guy, not wanting any grief, he said, it's cool, it's not a problem, nothing to do with me, I haven't seen nothing. Sat down, started chatting with them, and POS sent his ex to go and buy some tobacco. As she was walking back, she heard a loud bang, and then saw POS running towards her, dismantling the gun, sticking it in the bag. He said to her, "I've shot him in the face, I've killed him." She didn't believe it. She's like, "Yeah, whatever, mate." And off they went. The next day, he told her, "If you ever tell anyone, I'll kill you and your family." They subsequently seemed to split up after that, you can probably imagine. Sounds like a real catch, this guy. Anyway, it turns out the gunshot didn't kill him instantly. He was bleeding heavily. He died later from his injuries. I can't imagine the level of suffering from a shotgun blast to the stomach. It must have been horrific. It really must have been. Now, the police subsequently went and arrested POS. He was remanded and a trial began. She gave evidence at this trial, saying that he'd been obsessed with guns, wanted to own one because he thought it'd make him more manly. And he wanted to know what it'd be like to kill someone. He chose Phillip Fox because He was homeless. He thought no one would care. It didn't matter. No one would investigate anything. No one would miss him. That's the sad thing, because Phillip Fox's daughter had been searching for him, and she only found out where her dad was when it was too late and he was dead. That's just awful. It really is. POS was jailed for a minimum of 30 years. And personally, I hope he rots in there. I hope he never sees the day again. I hope his life's made hell. I really do. Now, this is where it gets even more unbelievable, the failings from the police. The day before the murder took place, the police visited POS's mum's home. That's where he was staying. His neighbours reported a loud bang. POS answered the door, clearly drunk, and told the police that I punched the wall because he was angry, with visibly no injuries on his hands whatsoever. And the police were satisfied with that and left. And in the police's words, they do not think they missed an opportunity to have saved Phillip Fox's life. I'll leave you to figure that one out. Yeah, it's one of the saddest stories you could imagine. The fact that instantly a dead guy in the tent's assumed to have done it to himself. And it's even sadder that people would think that he just doesn't matter, that it'd be okay to do that to him. And the police to think they haven't missed an opportunity. It's just disgusting. And this is what I'm fighting to change. I really am. It does matter. And like I say, this is what stood by a lot of my decisions and how I survived in the streets. That stuck in my mind, and I thought, I'm not going to go and stay in the middle of nowhere, because that's what can happen. I made sure I stayed somewhere public. And people would say to me, oh, the reason that you're getting all this grief is because you're in the town. I was like, yeah, I'm actually safer in the town. The reality is, yeah, I was. As I said time and time again, if I stay in the middle of nowhere, there's no one to hear you scream. You lie there for 9 months like Phillip, and just be assumed that you've taken an overdose. It beggars belief. It really does. I'm going to tell you about more stories like this over the course of the coming months, because these things need to change. This stuff can't keep on happening. The fact that this just went unreported, it was reported locally, wasn't reported nationally. This was a man that wanted to know what it would be like to kill someone and targeted a homeless person because he thought he didn't matter. What is it going to take for things to change? How many more Phillip Foxes will there have to be? I hope none. I really do. No, I'll leave it at that. Okay, big love, guys. I'll be back soon. And yeah, hopefully this stuff